Hi everyone, Kevin from the Figaro Owners Club. Today's video is all about how to fit bumpers to your Nissan Figaro. I'm going to show you how to remove the old ones and how to put the new ones on, and the bolts and the spanners and such like that you need. The bumpers we're fitting today are not the Nissan Figaro ones made by Nissan. These bumpers are stainless steel 2mm 304 stainless steel, and they are going to make such a difference to the Figaro world. I can't wait to get them fitted to the car. So excited about this. The existing bumpers, we're going to be taking them off and put them on our other car, which is Figgy, my son's Daniel's car. So I'm not going to be throwing them away because these bumpers are pretty good. But I want to get these stainless steel ones on. I'm going to show you other parts of the car that's got stainless steel as well. So I think this will really finish the car off. And if you've got existing bumpers on your car and they're, you know, quite rusty, because they can get quite bad over time, then this could be the solution rather than go for the Nissan ones, which will just again rust in time. So here we go, let's start the project. So I'm just showing you them basically before they go onto the car. So we've got obviously the front bumper there and the corner bumpers here, and everything's identical to the existing bumpers. So all of these holes have all been designed to fit exactly to the car. A couple of things to point out is when you take the old bumpers off, we've noticed that the nuts with the old bumpers are like a 12mm, so you'll need a 12mm spanner for that. But Garage FK have gone for a 13mm nut, so the nut to take them off, the screwdriver, sorry, the spanner to take them off is not going to be the same as the spanner to put them on. You get obviously a set of proper stainless steel domed nuts and washers, and what they've done here is they've gone for I think it's a good idea actually, they've gone for a locking nut. As you can see, it's got a burr on it, so obviously they've thought it's going to be better to pop these together and put the washer on and then put the nut with the burr on it, and once this is fastened, it's obviously not going to go anywhere. So you get enough nuts obviously for each of it, nuts and bolts. I'm just showing the parts if you like. The corner ones on the front have also got a thread on them, so they've got a thread built into them here, and this is a 10mm, a bolt and a washer and a locking washer as well, so you need a slightly different spanner for that. But the quality is just incredible. I like the fact they've even sort of painted the inside as well. Really nice touch. So as I said, on your Figaro you'll find that there are quite a lot of stainless steel parts on it at the moment, and this is stainless steel, this piece here that runs up around the window. This is obviously an addition if you like, that's stainless steel here running down here, and these trim parts here are stainless steel, and I think that's stainless steel as well. Couldn't be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. So I think this is going to make such a difference to the car once they're on. Obviously the bumpers do suffer quite badly, especially when the car's used in the wet. If you're using your car in, you know, all the time, what tends to happen is it won't be the outside of the bumper that will corrode. The corroding starts on the inside of the car. Often the water comes from the inside and it bubbles, and then you get the rust appearing on the outside. So by fitting these stainless steel bumpers you will not get any rust at all. So that is just going to be gone at the end of the day. Once these are on, that's it, no more rust, and fantastic to polish and to keep clean really. So it should be a great finish when it's all done. Okay, I think it's worth just mentioning to take the front number plate off, because that gives you access to the front bumper. You won't get that off with that there. And when you are undoing the bolts, you might find that, I mean, it is relatively easy. As long as you've got an extender bar here, you can get that in there, and then that does basically go straight onto the nut. So it's quite easy to do, but you might find that you might have to use something like this releasing agent, something like that, squirting that on, certainly from the top and from the underneath as well, because they might be like sort of quite badly rusted and especially if they've been on there since the car was new. So this actually does loosen this sort of stuff. There's quite a lot of products out there, but this will actually try and loosen the actual nut. Worst case scenario, I have heard before that people have to sort of grind them off, which is quite a difficult job, and you would have to jack the car up and get some sort of little 4-inch grinder in there and chop them off. So hopefully you haven't got to do that, so we'll crack on. So yeah, just to recap, I've noticed that all the top bolts can be done with basically a 12mm socket on like a 3-inch extender. You can get under here and straight into the nut, so that's pretty easy. On the other ones, I'm going to need to use a normal spanner to get to those parts. That's the next part. Okay, so that's all of these bolts removed. The bottom ones, again, there's 2 there to do. They are quite fiddly. I did need a spanner to get into there, and you're working really close to the ground, so you know I have got some axle stands coming, so I think it's going to be easier to jack the car up. I just wanted to prove that you could actually do it without having to jack the car up, but I'm going to do that with the back ones, because I think that will be easier. You've got a little bit more room to work with. But anyway, that's off. So the next part now is to just remove this protection here around the wheel, so I can get to this nut here, or this nut within the bumper. So to get access to this last nut here, there's a 10mm bolt here, and there's 2 Phillips screws here to undo, one on the side here and one underneath. So what you can do once you do that is to flap it around. You should just to stop the wet getting into the car as the wheels turn, and then that will now reveal the nut that I can undo. Yeah, it's pretty fiddly actually, but I managed to get the socket on there. So it's a 10mm socket on there, so you can actually do it without having to jack the car up, but it's quite fiddly. But I'm almost there now, so get this off and we'll do the next bit. Okay, so all the bumpers are off on the front, and what I'm going to do is notice I'm just going to give a little bit of rust here. So I'm just going to put some Kill Rust on here and give it a little coat of black hammerite matte, just to before I put the bumpers back on. Right, here we go. Okay, so that's the front set on. Went on really easy actually. Obviously working the opposite way round. When you take them off, you put the centre one on first, and these bolts are relatively easy. They line up pretty well with the holes, as they should do. And then applying the corner brackets, corner bumpers straight back as to how they went in before. It's just a bit fiddly here, having to take this piece off, but again, you know, once you've done one side, it's pretty easy to do the other side. So yeah, front one's on, so working on the back ones next. Okay, that's the front one's done, so I'm going to do the back ones now. So we need to remove the existing bumpers on the car here. So there's 3 parts, obviously. Don't worry, these are again going to be fitted on another car we've got, because they look in pretty good condition. So these are the parts that I've got from Garage FK10. So this is the rear bumper here. That's where the exhaust pokes through. So beautiful, really nice. It is quite heavy, so I'm going to compare that when I take it off. Actually, a little bit heavier it's going to be, because it's 2mm and it's stainless steel. So, and these are the corner units, beautifully done. I mean, the finishing is really top drawer. Really impressed with it. And then with this, you get, obviously you're going to have 5 bolts in this corner and 5 bolts in that again. So let's crack on. Okay, so I'm going to do the top ones like we did before. So I've got a 12mm socket, and should be able to go straight into that. I've already pre-loosened it, so I can turn it now. Straight out, there we go, nice and easy. So you get a long bar, something like that, so a 6-inch bar, and these really are not too difficult to do. I mean, you just get it straight on there. I don't need to jack the car up. I'm not doing that if I can help it. There we go. Helps if you have it around the right way. Try again. It's a case of fiddling around until you can feel it's on the nut. There we go. The nice thing about these is because they're on these square kind of sockets, then it's obviously you don't need to hold it at the top, just start to loosen it. Take this off. Pretty much do it with your hands now. There we go. So it's all coming apart quite well. I think what I'm going to do is just going to put a sheet down on the floor just in case it does kind of fall down. We won't want to scratch these. Okay, so I'll crack on. So this was a good example. This one I just could not move by spraying a little bit of that. Loosens and lubricates. Spray a little bit on top and shoot it up inside the bolt. You can't really see what you're doing, but hopefully you get some on the nut. I'll tell you what, it just works. It's absolutely amazing, that stuff. So, you know, if you have got a problem with a nut, and it's quite common, they get rusted up, this is brilliant stuff. So XCP professional high performance multi-purpose spray. I'm just reading it off the can there. So well worth getting that, and you know, that'll help you if you've got a particularly awkward nut to get off of. I mean, I don't know, it all looks okay now, doesn't it, as usual, but it could have been something to do with that, but it's obviously it's got into there, so it's all good. So I need to remove the bolt at the bottom here, and it's got a very small skirt running around there. It's just again to stop the water getting into the inside of the bumper. So I'm going to take the camera off and just point it up there to show you what you need to get off, but it looks like a couple of 10mm bolts, and that skirt will come off. So this is what we're looking at, these two here. Could use a Phillips screwdriver, but to be honest I think you're better off with a socket set. I'm going to pop that on there, and indeed it is a 10mm. So this will remove this small skirt, which I think will help get the bolt in the lower part of the corner bumper. So I hope you can see this, but yeah, that's the skirt off, and now we've got access to this one here with a spanner, and this is the lower of the rear bumper. So there's two of these, one on either side, so that's good, nice and easy. And then that one's going to be pretty easy as well. Well, you can see that hopefully. So yeah, this can all be done without jacking the car up, which is really good. Okay, you got to lay down, but it's all good. It's all fairly easy. Okay, that's off. A couple of tips. One, again, I use this so much on the back ones, whether it's because they suffer more because of, obviously it's the back of the car, so it could be that they get a lot wetter, those nuts and screw and bolts. The other thing is put a couple of temporary bolts in here, even if they're undone, to stop the back bumper just dropping off. So even when you take them out, just put a couple of them back in, and that just holds them. And finally, invest in something to kneel on or lay on. And even wonderful Sue's got me a nice pillow there. Almost fell asleep whilst I was doing it. So, oh, and also I've got a nice little light under here, LED light, which lights up all of the underneath. So these are a couple of things that, you know, not necessarily needs. So you could do that with a head torch, but quite useful as well. Okay, now's the fun part. Been looking forward to this, getting the bumper fitted on. So we've got the little dome bolts all ready to go, and I've waxed the bottom of the car and inspected it. It all looks pretty good actually, so let's go for it. Carefully offering it up. I guess the thing to do is to get one in here and then I'm gonna just temporarily do these up until they're all on the car. So you don't want to tighten all the bolts up, you basically want to get everything in place, and then you can do some last minute little adjustments before you start bolting everything together. So with that in place, I'm just going to sort of virtually with my hand pop up and get it in the bolt if I can feel it. There we go. Yep, she's good. She's in there. That's it. Perfect. Same on the other side. That's it. So once the top ones are in, I'm then going to bolt the bottom ones on and then the side ones. Good to go. Looking lovely. Okay, all done, yay! All fitted on the back, fabulous. So I do a little tour of the front as well. Oh, look at this, I mean, this is what the Figaro community have been looking for. Stainless steel bumpers, wonderful. Really pleased with them, got a lovely shine to them. And they're just, you know, there's just a straight swap. I can get my teeth back in. I know I said before about leaving all the bolts loose on the back, but what I did notice is, and probably the same for the front actually, but probably best to bolt the whole of the bumper in first. So you got 4 bolts, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and then what I tended to do was bolt this one in here, and it's kind of hanging there, and then you can push it up, and then what it does mean, you get a nice tight finish here, so it pushes together, and you know, hopefully this joint is pretty good. So I did say to Daniel, one of the things from Garage FK10, the edging here it's not, I mean, I don't know whether you're picking it up on the video, possibly not. The edging here is not quite as sweet as it is on the Nissan Figaro bumpers, but you know, I think they're going to look at that, and maybe it needs a little bit of polishing here, so when it butts together your eye can't really see it so well. But hey, you know, this is the first batch, so we'll let them off on that. You know, the main thing is, the finish is just gorgeous, so I'm absolutely chuffed with them. And you know, they're not going to rust, so this is what we've been looking for. And there's more good news on the pricing, which I'll tell you in a minute. So how did I fit them? What did I use? Well, I used a mat here, an old trusted mat that I kneel on and lie on. That's definitely worth having, because I didn't jack the car up. I mean, obviously if you've got jacks and stuff like that, then it's probably a good thing to do that, because there's a little bit more room. This I would suggest putting under the bumpers, just in case, God forbid, you drop them. So I've got my tools here. So you got your Phillips, and you need a 13 mil sockets there, 10 as well, to get into those little skirts inside, and 12 mil. Funnily enough, we needed 12 mil to take the old ones off. Gloves are good. I used a little light here, which is my sort of inspection light. That's quite good to light up the underneath of the car. This was invaluable. XCP one, used a lot of that, especially undoing those back bolts. You know, if you've got the original bumpers on the car, they're going to be super uber rusty, so you need to put this on and leave it, and then keep working the nut, and you will find it will actually come off eventually. And you can get a little sticker here, little window sticker here to put on your window. So well done to Garage FK10. I think they've done a wonderful job. So as I said, with the pricing, I can't believe the pricing is so good. 1049 is the price for these set of these bumpers. And that's actually, I think, about £100 cheaper than a set of the original Nissan bumpers. You know, the Nissan Figaro bumpers. Then they're 1.5 mil steel, chrome plated. This is 2 mil stainless steel. So it's just a no-brainer. These are £100 cheaper from a new company based up in Edinburgh, Garage FK10. So we'll be putting the details on our website and supporting this company, because I think they've done a really great job. So okay, that's all from me. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope that's given you a bit of confidence to fit them yourself, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers, bye.